Have we just started another crypto bear market? This is the topic of today's video. I'm going to tell you what's happening price action wise, where the money is going because people are selling the cryptocurrencies. I want to point out what they're using the money for, and I also wanted to apologize for the weird production quality. I'm currently in Vegas, here to play some poker, here to meet up with some friends. Going to have a great time, but the next couple of videos, they're going to be in this format, so I hope you don't mind it too much. Let's have a look here. I'm on my computer, and one thing that you've noticed is that cryptos have been selling off rather steeply over the past couple of weeks. Now, if you take a look at the history, right, especially the past bull run, right, of 2017, 2018, we have a very similar pattern here. And the pattern is that the bull market of 2017 continued until the second week of January, I believe, and then it sold off, right? And that's actually very typical, right? I would even call it seasonal, because even in the stock market, right, very typical, the first week or two of the new year is one of the best times to make money with stocks, you know, because people are excited. New Year's resolutions certainly play a part as well. So people put money in the stock market, you know, they're excited, new money flows in, and then very typically at the end of January, beginning of February, there is a sell-off happening. And that's actually what we're seeing in the crypto market as well. And something I wanted to point out is that we had a pretty steep correction. If you take a look at the high of November, right, it was like 68,000 or whatever, depending on what exchange, of course, but we had that high of like 67 to 70,000 depending on the exchange, and we had a low right now of 33,000. I know there was another correction taking place in early December, but right now we went down to like what, 33,700. And what's interesting is that a good chunk of that money is flowing into precious metals. Why do I know that? Well, I have a close personal friend of mine who owns a bullion store, and a lot of his clients pay with cryptocurrencies, right? They pay with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I know that. And there is money flowing in, and it's interesting because now we see a little bit of a relief rally. I wouldn't say a relief rally in gold, but more of a continuation of, you know, the bull market, the precious metal bull market that we're in. And the question is, how much more money will flow into precious metals? I've been talking to some people about this too. I'm not denying that crypto took a little bit of gold spotlights, of silver's spotlight, meaning, you know, people were so excited about crypto because the gains you can make in crypto are just insane. You know, if you can get in and out at the right time, you can make phenomenal gains, more profit, you know, higher margins than you can make with pretty much anything. And we're seeing now this rotation from cryptocurrencies and possibly also the stock market, because if we take a look at the spiders and we take a look at the peak of last year, end of last year, December 28th, I think, $477 was the high. And now we had a correction down to what, $434. So we had a pretty decent sell-off that's been happening over the past weeks, and it hasn't stopped. It hasn't come to a halt. A 9% or 10% correction over the past month. Will this correction continue? The stock market is a huge bubble. You know, if you take a look at where that money came from, well, it was government money, you know, it was subsidized money, you know, like free money, helicopter money that people use to buy stocks. And, you know, there's just so much money. And like, there wasn't really a correction since the pandemic correction, the pandemic sell-off, which was like in March 2020, which lasted for several weeks. And now we're seeing a good correction again for the first time in a pretty long time, actually. You know, we haven't seen a correction like this since March, end of February 2020. And hopefully, you know, for the people that have been waiting to buy cheap stocks, this will continue. Now, there's no way of knowing, of course. It could just be, you know, like this, a 10% correction. It could be a 30% correction. You know, news plays a role, anxiety plays a role. And but the thing is, the longer the sell-off continues, you know, the more drastic it will be. What's been happening is that a lot of that money has been going into gold, because gold, you know, precious metals, is considered or are considered a safe haven asset. So when people are selling crypto, you know, a lot of them are going into cash, and a lot of them are now also going into precious metals, because the volatility in gold is nowhere near as high as the volatility in cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin and Ethereum are the most stable cryptocurrencies, but you also have a lot of low cap or not so known coins, mid cap, that have much more volatility than something like gold and silver. And we will see whether this sell-off continues. Is now a good time to buy stocks? I'm not an investment expert. I'm just a person sharing my personal opinion on this channel. Something that I did is I reserved capital to buy stocks at a discount. I expected a sell-off early this year. It happened. The question is, should you be buying gold right now? That's something you really have to think about. If you have cryptocurrencies and you believe that the crypto bull market is over, then the question is, what do you do with your money? Do you sell it, and where do you move the money? Do you stay in cash? Do you move into hard assets like real estate, precious metals, or do you just buy cryptocurrencies that have already declined a lot? Now with crypto, from what we know, is that low cap or mid cap cryptocurrencies, they are going to decline as much as 95 to 99% of the peak. Let's say something like Litecoin, was $400 a pop, and it's going to go down to possibly $20, possibly, which would be a very, very drastic decline, right? It could only, go down to $80 or $100 too, but it's not likely. If the sell-off continues and the air comes out, then people are just going to panic. It's going to create this massive acceleration. More people start selling the cryptocurrencies, and it's going to form a very long bear market, and we have already seen that. And how long the bear market will last is a whole other question, and that depends on so many factors. Like the last bull run, the bull run that we're in right now was triggered by the pandemic. Was triggered by inflation, was triggered by excessive money. You never know if the crypto bull market is really over or if it's just another correction within this bull market, because it depends on so many factors. Even if this is really already the bear market, then you could buy right now, you could hold through, wait for the value to go up, and it always goes up again. The question is, do you have the patience to hold through the tough times? That is the question you have to answer. Are you currently invested in cryptocurrencies? What other investments do you have, and what do you think is going to happen to the crypto market this year? Leave a comment below and let us know. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and make sure you turn on that notification bell. If you haven't grabbed the free copy of my ebook, Nomad, the Insider's Guide to Retaining a Life of Freedom, I highly recommend that you do it now. All you need to do is click on the link below the video. And if you got some more time left, check out these videos. Thank you for watching.